Well, I'm not sure where you are, but where I am, it's Sunday morning. We don't like that word morning, but it is what it is. It's the beginning of the day on Sunday. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Welcome to the channel. We're here today for Not Your Normal Sunday with R Wayne Steiger. We got a little bit of a new platform, so I'm just wondering if Wayne is having trouble. He doesn't use Chrome or Firefox. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I just got that notice that Wayne doesn't use Chrome or Firefox. Well, that is going to be a little bit of a challenge for us on this. So I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll have to work that out at another place and at another time. Unfortunately, didn't know that until just right now. But we have so much stuff going on with Iran right now, and we have so much going on in the ideas of war. And I just wanted to look a little bit at what Iran really is, ladies and gentlemen. And Iran, most people don't know it, but Iran may well be the seat of human population. And Iran is, without a doubt, the seat of human spirituality, at least as we know it. Now, that may come as a surprise to a lot of you, but it really is the case. I'm going to show you and talk with you about this because it's really pretty amazing stuff that Iran, the area where Iran is right now, is the birthplace of really human religion and all the religions we're talking about. Plus, as I'm going to show you a symbol that is consistent with Zoroastrianism, which is the original religion there. It makes you wonder if there's not more than just religion taking place. And what better time to talk about it than Sunday morning? And of course, our opening segment's always brought to you by Mystech. Get back in harmony with your mother. These are the bracelets that I wear that restore you to the original human residence of the planet and also put your cells in harmony rather than chaos. And you've seen the blood test videos live on the channel, and there's a 20% discount when you go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Mystech logo, and order your bracelets there. Remember, name, address, size, color. Those are the things that we need to make sure that we get them delivered to you on time. And we are going into Chinese New Year. That's going to slow things down a little bit, but no problemo. Let's go first in the chat room and just say hi to people that are there and see if there's any questions right off the bat that we can address and we can talk about. Let's see. Good morning to Big Teddy Smooth. Nice to see you, Big Teddy. I think it's been a little while, 65 degrees in North Carolina, and we're having our coldest day ever of the year here in the heartland. Tracy Dyer says hello to everybody, and this is a cool thing we can do. See, hi, peeps. That's nice. Jason Rios, nice to see you as well. I think it's been maybe a minute since we've seen you, but good to see everybody here today. And we get so lost, and the lovely Cynthia says good morning to everyone. We get so lost on the geopolitical aspects of things that we do not understand, or sometimes we overlook, and maybe intentionally so. And Barry Chad thinks this is a good topic. I'm glad you think so. We intentionally get lost, or we intentionally lose the idea that there's more going on than just the religious, more than just the geopolitical. And let me just show you this picture. And what's the best way to do it? I'll just do it like this. I'm going to show you this picture because it'll spark some of you that are people that are advocates of a certain stuff that we know. And I'm just going to go ahead and share this with you real quickly and do it a little bit awkwardly because I had the screen set up to show you some other information with you. But look at this. And this is actually the Museum of Zoroastrianism. It's over in Iran. And those of you that are Planet X enthusiasts, those of you that are Zecharia Sitchin enthusiasts, you'll be very familiar with the winged disc symbology. And the winged disc symbology comes from this religion, Zoroastrianism, which comes out of Iran, ladies and gentlemen, the area that's now the focus of so much geopolitical intrigue. And we'll just go ahead and move right into talking about the actual religion itself and glean some, I think we can glean some information from this because it is very, very important stuff, I think. And I think it's stuff that's going to make a real difference in our lives and help us to understand what is going on over in Iran, what's going on, you know, in terms of geopolitical stuff and what's going on maybe in the world behind the world, in the world behind the scenes. And I think we lose that far too often. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of this. And I'm just trying to get myself to where I can get this Barry's comment off of here. And I forgot about it. So I'll show two trees and then I'll hide it and then I'll get rid of it for us. Perfect. So let's go ahead and look at Zoroastrianism because it's important. And I think it's also very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So Zoroastrianism is the name of the religion that was born in the region of what we now call Iran. And Zoroastrianism is probably the world's oldest continuously practiced religion. And because it combines theological elements of henotheism, monotheism, and polytheism, there's almost no doubt from scholars that Zoroastrianism is where Christianity came from, Judaism came from, Islam came from. It is the source religion of the three faiths that we call Abrahamic, whether we call them right or wrong. That's just what they're known as. And it was started around this guy called Zarathustra or Zoroastria. Wise Lord, Ahura Master is the supreme being. But one of the very interesting things about it is that the religion, even though it is the source of all of our fear and guilt control matrix religions, let's just call them what they are, the core of Zoroastrianism is good thoughts, good words, good deeds. That's kind of their catchphrase, good thoughts, good words, good deeds, which makes it really a conundrum. It makes me wonder what's going on behind the scenes of a geopolitical struggle in the birthplace of human religion. And I invite you to weigh in on it. But I start thinking, is this a struggle of religion that is dying? We're destroying it. I'd like to think we're a big part of it. We're at least helping it. We're helping to destroy fear and guilt control matrix, blood, magic, religion. We're helping to destroy it. Is the uprising in Iran at least somewhat caused by the religion trying to raise its head one last time and fight one last time? Is that what it's about? Is that possible? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Is it the people of Iran who, as we all know, if we know anything about geopolitics at all, are now captured by Islam? They're dominated by Islam. Is it their spirit of being the first people, quote unquote, to receive religion and to receive thoughts of God? Are they rebelling against Islam? Or is it the West trying to crush the cradle of real religion? There's so many different ways we can go on this. There's so many different things we can look at on this. It really is quite fascinating to speculate. It's quite fascinating to look at. It's quite fascinating just to wonder. And then if you really want to get all conspiratorial, are there entities behind all these things? Is it not just men, but is it also entities behind this? Entities behind this, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder. I think about all these things and I wonder, because it's just that weird. And you have to ask these questions. You have to wonder these things. And then you start thinking about President Trump, and President Trump being, whether you like him or whether you hate him, it's almost impossible to dismiss the fact that President Trump is a spiritual figure. He is a figure of tremendous religious import. And it's hard to just dismiss that, even though you guys don't like him, some of you. So there's so much stuff swirling around, so many things going on in the background. What do you guys say about this? And you've got hundreds of thousands of people in the streets of Iran that are not paid by George Soros, by the way, protesting and calling for the Khomeini, the leader, to step down. And you have to understand something about this. It's not like here where you go out because you get your little feels hurt and you go and you start a big protest, and then you guys go and smoke dope afterwards and, you know, have a little dinner. When you go out in Iran and you are protesting, you can be shot. It's against the law to do what they're doing. So they're taking their lives in their hands, literally. And if you follow the news at all, you know a lot of people have been killed at just such protests in Iran. Amazing stuff. I like what Good News says. He says, when a particular sect says their savior came first, when you know it's the opposite. That's kind of my take. I think there is probably some spiritual background on this, or spirituality behind the scenes, but I don't think it's good stuff. Right, and this is very good, Scott. Iran really is Persia. So we think of Iran as Muslim, but it's really not Muslim. It is today, but their heritage is not Islam. It's not Muslim. It is not Muslim. And Cynthia says, what does Cynthia say? Cynthia said, oh, it's just about Wayne's technical difficulties here today. So what are you guys talking about? What do you think? Shane says maybe it's sky worship religion. Jason says people probably want to get in Iran to destroy those artifacts. That's interesting. Did the artifacts have magical powers, or do they take them to, are they like, can take you into different what am I thinking of? Portals? Is that what it's about? Scott Severini says Earth and her peoples are rising. They can't stop it. I'd like to think that you're right. Jason again makes a good point. It is an archaeological gold mine over there. And let's see, we're just going to go ahead and remove some people because they have a little upset tummies, but that's okay. We'll get rid of that. We love our trolls. Nice to see you, trolls. I really do appreciate you. And are breakaway religions to deny older truths? Asked Joyce Marie. That's interesting too. And can I just say, and of course we love Joyce Marie and we're not contradicting her, but we're just discussing, just because it's old, does that mean it's true? I've said before, I know there's the Babylonian text and the Sumerian text, and all the old texts agree. Well, just because Aesop's fables, Grimm's fables, and Mother Goose agree, I'm not going to believe they're true, even if they were written long, long time ago. I don't think that old truth is necessarily so. It's old beliefs, it's old thoughts, it's old feelings. And Truth Seeker thinks the uprising in Iran is against Islam. I tend to believe that Truth Seeker is right. that the uprising in Iran is against Islam. And I think that President Trump is very smart the way he's handling this. And it's going to be another situation where stupid Donald Trump, stupid actor Donald Trump is going to orchestrate or allow to happen. And sometimes that's the beauty of it, just allowing it to happen. A tremendous foreign policy miracle with what is currently the Islamic Republic of Iran. Could you imagine if there's an organic, peaceful overthrow of the Islamic Republic in Iran? Could you imagine that? All the years of all the Bushies and the Barrys and the Clintons trying to get something done, and in comes stupid Donald Trump and gets it done like he did in Korea, like he's doing with Russia. Wouldn't that be interesting, ladies and gentlemen? I think it would be. I think it'd be fascinating. And if I were to be a prophet, I would say that that is probably exactly what we're going to see, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see an amazing foreign policy victory orchestrated or allowed to happen by President Donald Trump. What else do you guys have to say about these things? Let's see. The uprising is against Islam. I believe that. Barry Chad says the imams know that they look insane. They're fighting for control. And of course, the kind of the spark of it all was accidentally shooting down an airliner and killing almost 200 people. And isn't it odd that it was a Ukrainian airliner? You know, we've got all the controversy in this country about Ukraine, and then it's a Ukrainian airline that gets shot down. It's hard for me to believe that that's all just coincidental. It just happened to be a Ukrainian airliner. Are you saying they shot one down on purpose? No, I'm just saying that it seems like the chess pieces get moved around in certain ways. We're over here, half of us calling for the removal of a president that we don't like just because we don't like him over something that has to do with the Ukraine, supposedly. And they're over there wanting to remove dictators over something that has to do with Ukraine. But in Iran, the Ukraine thing is just the spark. What they really don't like is the Islam. What they really don't like is being under control. And over here in the U.S., what the people that want to remove the president are doing is what they really don't like is losing. They really don't like losing control. See, in Iran, it's the same, but it's different. In Iran, the people that are protesting and using the Ukraine as a rallying point are trying to get rid of entrenched power. They're trying to get rid of fear, guilt, control, blood magic matrix. Over here, it's the people that are protesting that are trying to maintain their fear, their power, their control against people that are trying to break free. So it's a mirror image, literally. Iran, United States, both about Ukraine, ostensibly, both about removing leaders, but one because the leader is a dictator, and one because dictators don't want somebody messing with their stuff. This is really, really deep. And as Scott says, there's kind of an air of rebellion. The Methodist Church is about to divide over LGBTQ clergy. RVS, I agree with her. These are good questions. You don't get to see them. You don't get to see them addressed very, very often. The Iranian people's protest is very real, especially the women. Well, can you imagine why the women want to protest? Islam, man, is not for women. It's not for women. They don't like women. And I love the trolls because they throw in the stuff that makes no sense. Zion trumpet. You might want to check your source, bro, if you're a Zion trumpet. So this ministry, number one, this ain't a ministry. Never has been, never will be. Ministry is about taking money from people's pockets, and we're not about doing that. And it's about conditioning viewers to accept fallen angels. We don't even believe in fallen angels. And bro, you need to start doing a little research before you troll, because this just makes you look really, really stupid because you haven't even done your research. If you're going to be a good troll, at least know who you're trolling and know how to troll correctly, because that's not even good trolling right there. That's some bad trolling. Bad troll, lazy troll, silly troll, stupid troll. But we'll leave it up there so we can laugh at it just a little bit more. I'm trying to get back to where I was on the chats, because these are some good ones here, ladies and gentlemen. These are some good ones. Truth is being revealed in the world, and the world controllers are panicking. I believe that 100%. I believe that. I think he's right on. Good news is exactly right on. Iran does want their dictator gone. Here's an interesting question. Is it the energy bodies of the stars pulling the strings? That's a very interesting question right there. Very interesting question right there. And this is what I like to see RVS here to explore possibilities. See, we don't have any answers to offer here. We don't have any truth to offer here. I did not receive a message from a father, mother, sister, brother, angel, ascended master. No, I did it the old-fashioned way. I got into the text and I studied it and I reasoned it out. I did it the old-fashioned way. I earned it. So you're not going to get any prepackaged ideas and thoughts. No truth here. No answers here. We're here to learn how to think, how to reason, how to use our heads for something more than a hat rack. And I salute you, RVS, for exploring the possibilities. And have you got in touch with Green Greg, Galactic Greg? I know you said the other day that you thought he was very handsome. So I'm just asking if you have or not. It's none of my business, but I like stirring things up a little bit every now and then. Every now and then. What's this one say? I now hear that Muslims, says Kenny, saying they're finding out they were lied to by their scriptures. Ooh, sounds familiar. And Kenny, I'm on the trail. Kenny, I'm on the job, because I know now for sure that Rome created Christianity. I know now for sure that Rome created rabbinical Jerusalem, Judaism. And if Rome created Christianity as we know it, and if Rome created Judaism as we know it, there's no doubt they created Islam as we know it. But I have not been able to find the trail back to Rome yet. But I'm on the job. And please don't send me anything that has anything to do with Francisco Ribera. That's a lie, a cheat, a shill, a distraction. But if you find something that doesn't have to do with him, then I'm all ears. Here's a great point. And I wonder how much of it's true, because how do you control a crazy Islamic state? Iran is CIA controlled. I think it'd be accurate to say Iran was CIA controlled. I don't know. But it seems that the people are indeed protesting the extreme version of Islam. And Iranians have been under the thumb of deep state for generations. They're fed up too. I like it. Two Trees is on that same channel, that there's a deep state overthrow going on. How many were killed just getting stomped at the general's funeral? See, that's a little thing too that makes me wonder. If they hate the government so much, then why were there so many of them out there at this general's funeral? A guy who is known for killing people and breaking things. And if the general crowds were not organic, are we sure that the crowds protesting for the removal of Khomeini, if those are organic? Yet another wrinkle. Because I can't believe that people that 1 week would be out in praise and honor of this general, would be the same people that a week later are out protesting for the removal of the government. That doesn't track for me. That's a non sequitur. One doesn't follow the other. I welcome your thoughts on that, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. David thinks the culture is manufactured, and this is no different. I don't know. Crystal Colorful Dream World, the destruction of ancient artifacts, temples. I think it's sort of an entity or plural trying to hide anything we can use to find out anything. That's another train of thought, and Crystal's on it, that over in Iran, they have portals and they have devices. What are those things that Tracy's always talking about? Stargates. Yeah, it's Stargates. Oh, and here's another, yet another take from Boru. It's a big wag the dog while they begin to strip our Second Amendment rights in the homeland. Ooh, see, I like the way that people on this channel think. And Dave says, did you notice when Iran fired the rockets, they had several earthquakes and one near their nuclear power plant? I did notice that. And that's yet another wrinkle in this whole thing. Yet another wrinkle in this whole thing. So it's very, very deep, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very, very dense. There's a lot of information that we're being shown here. There's a lot of information going on, and it's our job to pick through it. What's this say? A woman in Iran walked around in a bikini and they did in the 1960s. Iran was like a vacation destination. It was very much westernized. And what does this say? The Iranian students are tearing down the Death to America posters, and they were ripping up posters of Khomeini. That's amazing. Or, as Kevin says, maybe the artifacts will tell the truth about history. Ooh, that's very, very good. Very, very good. And this is an interesting comment. Christy says ancient Persia is where Vedic astrology comes from. Ooh, I am learning a lot of stuff from you guys. Kevin says that's scary for religious folks. It is, definitely. RVS correctly states, in my opinion, that deception has been around for a long, long time. Deception's been around as long as we've been around. Second Star says it's just old rights. The earthquakes were Iran's deep underground military bunkers of the cabal getting taken out by Trump's black ops. Oh, see, and more intrigue. So Dave Mahdi says that President Trump sent over military guys to take out their dumbs, their deep underground military bunkers. And that's what caused the earthquakes. Wow, that's amazing. And then you got to get into this point too. Are they destroying countries without central banks? It's also the world's largest supply of tungsten. Ooh, which is very, very necessary in all high-tech stuff. And I like to see this. Even if I didn't like the president, I would still like to see this. God bless our president, Donald J. Trump. I agree 100%. Cynthia says lies and disinfo are not new. That's absolutely true. Bobby Allen, I did get your emails. Same reason we had to go into Iraq, to get the giants. You know, Bobby, I've always been a little meh on the whole giant thing. Did they see giants over there, the giants of Kandahar? And I just don't know, but I'm certainly open to empirical, objective evidence about that. But I'm not just ready to sign on because it's groovy. I'm really not. And I think this is true, that President Trump has done a great job so far, the best job of any president that we've seen. I'm really surprised Iran hasn't used Zoroastrianism to prove it's a source of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Maybe this is what they're trying to protect. I agree with Vince that President Trump is a good wizard. I agree. Karen says that she thinks these protests are more organic. Trump has been taking out deep underground military bunkers in the U.S. for the past 12 months. A lot of people have talked about that. Shane says President Trump is good at this 4D chess game. The people that are playing checkers are freaking out because they don't understand what he's doing. Here's another question. Are the earthquakes in Puerto Rico real, or are they taking out deep underground military bunkers in Puerto Rico? That's a very, very interesting question. And this has to be said, even though it'll make a lot of people mad. Trump makes Reagan look like a clown, because Reagan was just a dancing bear for the neoconservatives. And I like this. See, this is a thinking person. Kevin can say, I'm not a Trump supporter, but he ain't no dummy. And I could say that about, well, I was going to say I could say that about Obama, but I think Obama was just a dancing bear for the liberal agenda. Obama just wanted to be famous. Obama wanted to be the first black president. Obama wanted to be a rock star. But he's gone, and we don't have to revisit that. I'm not sure what this means, and I thought all bears were bearded. I don't believe anyone was on that plane. It's all in the script. Really? He doesn't think anyone was on that plane. That's interesting. And going back to the source, Truth Seeker says Ukraine is deep state controlled. Ooh. Who was on the plane? Emerald Eagle. See, you guys are dark. You're dark. You're deep, I mean. Not dark, deep. Fables, old sayings, stories are often truths versus the history that they feed us. Answering the question, Dave says some of the Canadians on that airliner were nuclear scientists. Ooh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And Bearded Bear, feel very honored because the Oracle agrees with you. And Tracy doesn't think they were actually Canadians. Interesting. Ooh, Trudeau is the man in the middle in the uranium deal. The deal where Hillary Clinton gave away all that uranium, again, confirmed by the Oracle. So that's about as good as you can get as far as confirmation goes. And this here we have the other side. You're so stupid. You love Trump even after all the mistakes he's made. Could you list some of the mistakes he's made? And when did it become stupid to love your president? It was okay to love Barry. It was okay to love Bill. It was okay to love Jimmy. How come it's not okay to love your president when you don't like the president? And I would be very interested to see a list of mistakes, because all I see is one success after another. And do I support President Trump? Yes, but I support him not because I care anything about the man personally, though I have met him and had a good affinity with him. I support President Trump because I support the stuff that President Trump is doing, destroying the credibility of the mainstream media, rallying our economy, waging peace across the planet. Just to name a few. Let's see. More bases in Puerto Rico are being destroyed, says Bobby Allen. And for some reason, that kind of resonates with me that there'd be bases, dumbs down in Puerto Rico. Hillary has not been cleared. That investigation hasn't been closed. Don't fall for the fake news. Remember, when it's CNN saying, oh, Hillary's cleared. No. Kids on the playground have their cliques of congregation of the bullies preying on the weak, the girls incite drama, and let the boys fight out their drama. Not sure what that means, but that's kind of an interesting comment. All religions are meant to lose. I think they will ultimately, no doubt about it. Are they destroying the remnants of Atlantis? That is interesting. After Reagan was shot, he wasn't the same, nor calling the shots. I agree, Tracy. Very well stated. Very, very well stated. Cynthia has been saying this a lot, that she feels like the timelines keep shifting. And maybe they do keep shifting. Lucky Stone, after brainstorming, says that ancient sites are being destroyed to see what's under them. Cities are built on cities sometime. And yeah, very, very interesting stuff. What's Joe say? Humanity's been scammed for millennia. It's time to stop. Where's my cosmic lawyer? I want my money back. I want my inheritance back. Very well put. Very well put. Very well put. And what did I missed some stuff up here? I heard about the funeral. The perimeter was lined with people hanging dead. A message: if you don't mourn the general, you'll be hanging too. Ooh, I'd like to see if that's true. Papa Greg says the photo of the rockets, bogus. Dumbs are being blown up. That's the main reason for earthquakes. That's very, very interesting. Tungsten carbide I hear that's actually the thing. And I know that, this is a very popular thing, Gareth. The Russians have been fighting Anunnaki. The only way to hurt them is with sound and energy weapons. That's what's causing the earthquakes. That's interesting. Of course, I want a little more proof, but that is very, very interesting. Remember the Soviets had that was what I was talking about, the Kandahar giants. Soviets had the story about the giants too. Let's see. Again, timeline shifting. Canadian companies business with Iran. Pompeo doesn't like that. I think Pompeo's got to go. He's the last deep state. He's the last of that ilk. And I think Pompeo's got to go. I don't know if President Trump keeps him close, because it's better to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Is that the reason that President Trump is keeping him close? I don't know. Of course, the skeptics will say that he's President Trump's handler. I don't know, but I think it's time for Pompeo to go. He's the last warmonger. He's the last Jesuit eschatologist. We need to get rid of Pompeo. I hope that President Clinton will dump him. And again, back to the dumbs. They have been taken out as one of the hot spots. Puerto Rico, one of the hot spots for dumbs. I didn't know that, but somehow it resonates with me. Let's see. Stellar cults, lunar cults, Jesus. See the country flag and the shield. Interesting. Interesting. A lot of deep thinking here. Not dark, just deep. I like it very, very much. I like it very, very much. Let's see. And I like this kind of talk. Scott's beginning to think that Trump knows the script. He knows the path. But he makes right turns off the path to expose, letting them expose themselves. Trump is pulling back the curtain. Karen Steele feels very strongly. Triumphant President Trump. I feel pretty good about that. Loving people isn't stupid. No, it isn't. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Islam is not the planned NWO nor one world religion. David, I think it might be a part of it, because, again, if Rome started Christianity, Judaism as we know it, and Islam, they're going to try to bring them around into one religion. Can't we all just get along? That's my deep thought. I really think that's what they're going to do. Do I know for sure? No, but I really think they're going to do this. And I didn't know this was true. Is Puerto Rico the IRS base of operations? That's very, very interesting. At least President Trump likes women, not children. Well, yeah, I guess that's one way of saying it. We would hope for better, but hey, that's one way of saying it. And of course, that's true. That is true. I didn't know Puerto Rico was home to the base of IRS. Yeah. Hillary is actually just a ceremonial head of a college there. She won't even be going to Ireland except for their silly little, I think they're silly. They're silly little commencements and things like that. Another person thinks that they're scrambling. The lies are beginning to unravel. Trump is the master closer. I agree with that. I learned proper spelling and grammar before calling people stupid. Well, B-Rad, you don't have to stay, because around here, if I see stupid, I will call it stupid. And like that great American philosopher Forrest Gump said, stupid is as stupid does. And I'm not afraid to call out stupid, because Ron White says you can't fix stupid. But I think if you identify it early enough, you do have a possibility of at least lessening stupid. I don't know. And Tracy, if anyone else said this, I'd be looking for proof. But Tracy says Ireland doesn't extradite political criminals. Interesting. It's all BS, belief systems. And what is in the middle of every believe a lie, an LIE? Look at it, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see what I mean. A lot of discussion about artifacts. Absolutely. Lunar porthole supposedly opened on Karen's birthday. A lot of great and interesting stuff being talked about here, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of great and interesting stuff. And I don't know if this is a lampoon or a shot, but all I'm saying, David, is watch the footage on that video I did with David Weiss from the dearth, or, you know, it's not really dearth, it's deep inside the rabbit hole. Watch the footage. When the space shuttle bounces, when they start going sideways and doing all this, but when they blow up and it's just plastic. When you look at the space shuttle and it looks like it's paper mache. What are they, David, if you're so smart? You explain it to me. You explain it to me. How about when the rocket just bends over in the middle, bloop, because something went bad? If it looks like a balloon, if it acts like a balloon, it might be a balloon. And are you so willing to believe what you're told that you're willing to deny visual evidence? I'm just asking you to take a look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what this one is. The Malaysian plane that was hit. Oh, I think we mean the Ukrainian plane that was hit was full of dead bodies. Where do we get that intel from? That's interesting, but you're going to have to give me some intel on that one. Tracy thinks I'm raw on Pompeo. We'll have to talk about that, Tracy. I don't understand how you can think I'm wrong on Pompeo. He's the pro-Israel. He's the Bible thumping, praise Jesus guy. But I'm, you know what? We can have some dialectic discussion about that because we are not didactic here. So we can have some discussion about that. The Big Fish movie had a giant in it. Stargates line up with our DNA strands. That's interesting. Let's see. That's interesting. That's interesting. Iran means Aryan. This is kind of interesting. I don't know if Iran means Aryan or not. I'll have to look that up. There's a massive Aryan revolt by Arabs who want their Caucasian heritage. Research it. They're destroying ancient Caucasian evidence everywhere. Well, because I am who I am, I'm going to just look this up a minute. Does Iran mean Aryan? I don't think it does. Ooh. 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 Wow. Wow. Well, I can't show you it because I can't find it big enough to actually show you where it would make a difference. But I just typed in, does Iran mean Aryan? And name of Iran, Wikipedia. Evidently, from the time of the Sassanids in 226 to 651, Iranians have called it Iran, meaning the land of Aryans. Ooh, wow. Let me look up Iran definition. See, I just got schooled. Iran definition. Iran definition. Iran means the land of Aryans. Wow. Wow. I just got schooled, ladies and gentlemen. I just got schooled. Iran does mean the land of Aryans. Are the Aryans rebelling? Are they trying to restore their Caucasian heritage and culture? And even though I shouldn't, let's talk about this for a second. It's perfectly good and acceptable in this world for people of Black culture, I know that's a kind of a bad term for it, to celebrate their Black culture. It's okay to celebrate African American and not all black people from Africa, but it's perfectly okay to celebrate African American culture. It's perfectly okay to celebrate your Islamic culture and heritage. It's perfectly okay to celebrate your Arab culture and heritage. It's perfectly okay to celebrate your Latina, Hispanic culture. It's perfectly okay to celebrate your Asian culture. It's perfectly okay to celebrate your Islander culture. But how come it's bad and wrong and evil to be proud of Caucasian heritage? I'm just asking the question, why? You can have the Black Entertainment Network. Can you imagine if there was a white entertainment network? Can you imagine white entertainment television? They got black entertainment television. Could you imagine white entertainment television? Or how about Miss White America? It's okay to have Miss Black America, but try to have Miss White America. And of course, there's the standard. You've got the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and everybody bows down and pays homage. Could you imagine any presidential candidate speaking at the National Association for the Advancement of White People? I don't think so. Am I advocating for, and just that, oh, Jeff's a white supremacist. Jeff's a white separatist. Jeff's a white nationalist. Just because I asked the question of why is it okay to have the Black Emmy Awards, but it's not okay to have white Emmy Awards. Why is it okay to have black scholarships, but it's not okay to have scholarships just for white people? I don't think we should have special scholarships for anybody based on their race. But I'll get called a racist and a white supremacist and stuff for that. And that's okay because somebody does need to speak the truth. And somebody does need to ask these hard questions, ladies and gentlemism. Gentlemism. There's a new word for you. Gentlemism. You may have, we're talking about not everybody that goes to a Jesuit school is a Jesuit. Jesuits have lots and lots and lots of schools. And we're going to bring this to an end here really quickly. What do we got here? I'm Native American. I've been writing about the attempt to destroy Caucasian culture for years. I say what you're saying, Jeff, all the time about the BET and no white anything. It is wrong. There should be black entertainment television, and I'm not advocating for white entertainment television. I'm advocating for just entertainment television. Thank you, Leah Michelle. Somebody's got to do it. Whiteness has been tainted with the cabal, unfortunately. Yeah, it really has. It really has. Where did you get that from, Tracy? I didn't know that whose name shall not be spoken. I didn't know that he liked Islam. And see, this is the other side of the argument. This is ignorance on display right here from Lisa Rose 18. This is stupid. This is ludicrous. This is ignorant. This is an attempt at historical revisionism. And this right here is real racism. Caucasians stole everything and killed indigenous people. What is there to celebrate? So you're telling me that an indigenous person never killed anybody or never stole anything? You're a special kind of stupid, aren't you, Lisa Rose 18? And it's okay to be, and if I follow her meme, it's okay to be black and be racist. Black people can say horrible things about white people. But let a white person say something bad about a black person, now you got a Supreme Court case. Is it possible that, should I say it or should I not say it? Is it possible that minority people who are just trying to get paid out of no effort of their own are the ones that are keeping racism alive in the United States of America predominantly? Could I say something like that? I probably shouldn't. It's okay. Everyone has a right to love and preserve their own people. No, not really, Vanna. I agree with you, but not in the United States today. Not in the United States today. Not in the United States today. Why would it be necessary to have white? Well, the point is, why would it be necessary to have black? It's not necessary. It's preferential. It's prejudiced. And it's wrong. And it needs to stop, in my opinion. And this is one of the reasons why I love this woman. She can see and say, without fear of contradiction, that it is racist. There's no doubt about it. And Tracy, would you go back and block from this channel? I think you can. Or Cynthia, that person that put that thing about the black thing, get rid of that if you would, because I forgot to do it. I forgot to do it. Let's see. I love this right here. We are all just people. What happened to the great words of Dr. Martin Luther King that said, look beyond the color of a person's skin and to the content of their character? I found her. I'm gonna get rid of her myself. Well, bye. Why would it be necessary? Why? Yeah. Oh, this is a good point. Jews don't even want to be white anymore. Morris Tomcat, I don't know if I've seen you before. If I have and missed you, my fault. But why do the Jews want to be considered a separate race and they don't want to be white anymore? That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. Wow. Keep propaganda simple. That's the way they want to do it. That's the way they want to do it. Let's see. Way back when. Oh, I'm not going to do that one. That's a little bit. Let's see. Here we go. This is interesting. A person that knows. I'm 44, half black, half white, says Nicole. I have parents who taught me to lead by character, not by race. You had some good parents. You had some really good parents. Good for you. And good for your parents. They want to keep us divided, and race is a great way to divide us. Race is a great way to divide us. And what else we got? That's what we're talking about. Black, white, suckered into a dichotomy. We don't want that. We do not want that. Even Malcolm X said and spoke, and Delaney's black. Even Malcolm X spoke on seeing the spirit through the eyes. I like it. Skin color is about fighting about Wranglers versus Levi's. If you like Wrangler butts, or if you like, and don't tell me to stop it on my own channel. Don't tell me to stop it. And that's kind of racist too. So we're going to get rid of that one. I don't like that one either. I don't like that one. I do not like that one. Let's see. The recent return of blatant racism. Whoops. Where'd that go? The recent return of blatant racism against whites has pushed us back generations. You know, there's some uncomfortable truths, ladies and gentlemen. There's some uncomfortable truths. This is a great one by Emerald Eagle. Race was created by the oppressors. And I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it again. If planets were real, if space was real, I'm not sure, and you went to a planet for 5 years and you didn't get to see any humans, and all of a sudden a ship landed and a human walked down the gangplank, you would not be saying, oh, look at that black guy, look at that white girl, look at that Asian dude, look at that Hispanic. You would say, look at that human. Oh man, another human. You'd be so glad to see another human. That's just the way I look at it. That's just the way I think about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. If skin color is all you see, you might be racist. You might be a racist if skin color is all you see. And if you think that you're going to be more spiritual because of the color of your skin, you might be a racist. Yep, you might be a racist. Race is human, not colors. I appreciate that very, very much. And this is interesting. What's wrong with wanting to be with others who can relate? If you're a minority and you want to be with others so you can relate, I agree 100%. But if you really just want to be with your people, then why not go back where it's just your people? In America, we're about being together. We're about celebrating, honoring our uniqueness, but coming together to form something greater as a whole. I love being Irish, but it's better to be American because Americanism embraces things that Irishness doesn't have, and it adds to me, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, good point by Tracy, and we're wrapping this up, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine the change of opinion about race if there really are other races here like reptilians. Absolutely. I like it. Well, folks, we'll try to work out what's going on with Wayne. Maybe we'll go back to the old Zoom for Sundays so we can get Wayne back in. We appreciate you being here today. We appreciate, what's this? And I shouldn't go here, but that proves my point. If you're an American, then hang out with people of your, and let's face it, there's race and there's culture. There's people, I mean, I grew up preaching in the Church of God in Christ. 99.99% black. And there's a black culture. There's an American black culture. And there's probably an American black Christian culture. It's a culture. And people that are black Americans like hanging out with black Americans. I get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what's wrong with it is when you say, if you're a black American, you say, I don't want to hang out with no white Americans. And what's wrong with if you're a white American, you say, I don't want to hang out with no black Americans. Celebrate being black. Hold on to your cultural distinctiveness. But don't limit yourself to your culture. Remember, you're a black American. And I think the American should be more important than the black. I think the American should be more important than the white. And remember, above all else, we're humans. Humans. Hue, different colors of mans. We're different colors of mans. We're all men. Doesn't matter what color we are. We're all women. We don't care who we are. We do have different cultures. There's nothing wrong with celebrating those cultures. But what is wrong is when one culture gets to celebrate with an entertainment network and beauty pageants and all kinds of stuff, and another culture doesn't. That's called racism. That's called prejudice. And I don't care if you like it or believe it, it's still true. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. And we'll go out on this lovely comment from the lovely Cynthia. We should celebrate and learn from each other's cultures. There's so much to share. Absolutely. Very, very, very well said. And if you need any more proof, Kenny reminds us that George Jefferson's blood saved Archie Bunker's life. You can't argue with that. It's been another Sunday morning, and we'll try to do what we can to get Wayne back in next Sunday morning. And we do love you all. We appreciate you. We respect you. We do hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. We've got a great week of podcast excellence coming up. And let me just remind you real quickly of what we've got going on, because we got some really great guests coming up and stuff that you're probably going to be surprised that we're bringing on this channel. But let me pull up the calendar real quickly and show you what we've got going on. You know what? Why don't I just go completely wild and crazy, and I'll just show you literally the calendar. Where is the calendar? Application window, Chrome tab, Google Calendar. Boom. Does it show? There's the calendar for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne, we didn't quite get Wayne, but we got the show. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., Halo Marquise of Mistech talking about the new website and some new products coming out. Pierre Sabak, I'm reading his book. What's it called? Holographic Culture. And Jay Campbell, Tuesday at 2 p.m. And then on Wednesday at 2 p.m., we're going to be talking with Ken. What's Ken's last name? What's Ken's last name? From C60 Purple Power. Is it Schwartz? Can't remember right now. But we're going to be talking to Ken, and that's going to be a really good time, too. I don't know if I shared that with you or not, but yeah, it is sharing. And we're really looking forward to that. And Ken and I are going to be talking about, this is some stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Ken is talking about, remember we talked about Jesus being a devotio and the concept of human sacrifice. And Ken is asserting that elements running the U.S. military also cover the human sacrifice angle, although not necessarily willing ones. Interesting to note that the United States is the biggest empire since Rome. The goddess of war, Minerva, her birthday is March 19th. Her birthday is to be celebrated by 4 days of slaughter. The Gulf War II, Libyan War, both started on March 19th. Both were followed by days of shock and awe. Historic information to the blood sacrifice, D-Day invasion, when it started, mass blood human sacrifice, Masonic blood sacrifice, God of the Masons. That is going to be some interesting stuff. That's coming up on Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, big, great stuff. Looking forward to having you all there. We appreciate you for being here. We are here to help you guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru. We are here to remind you don't have original sin. You've got the spark of divinity within. And we are here to remind you that there's never been a better time to unindoctrinate yourself. For the loveliest Cynthia, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, saluting you for being here, seeking after truth.